December 8th. And the thing about it is, the more others separate us, the more we celebrate us. Melba Tolliver is a broadcast journalist from Rome, Georgia. In 1971, she was assigned to cover President Nixon's daughter's, Tricia Nixon's, White House wedding. But check this. Because she refused to straighten her hair for the broadcast, she was removed from the assignment. But she understood it, though, because that decision drew national attention to what would eventually become the Crown Act. Despite the backlash, she stayed on at WABC in New York and later contributed to ABC national news programs. She pivoted to documentary and public affairs reporting, focusing on stories overlooked by network coverage. She was the quiet insistence that Black women be allowed to appear as ourselves on air, and we're still fighting. In 1950, ancestor Zelma Watson George starred as Madame Flora in The Medium with the Karamu Theater, one of the first sisters to lead an otherwise white cast. She later served as an alternate delegate to the United Nations under President Eisenhower. Born in 1903 and raised in Ohio, she earned degrees from the University of Chicago, NYU, and a PhD from Western Reserve University, focusing on interracial marriage and social customs. Ancestor Cleo Brown was a jazz and blues pianist, vocalist, and composer whose 1930s and 40s shaped the swing and stride era. Born in Chicago in 1909, she came up in the South Side's gospel and blues scene, performing in major clubs and theaters until the 50s when she shifted towards religious music. She later became the first woman instrumentalist to receive the NEA Jazz Masters Fellowship. And it's Joy Ann Lamina Reed's birthday! We're so proud of her! She's a journalist, author, and political commentator now sharing the C-suites of independent news media. She was born in Brooklyn to Congolese and Guyanese parents. She studied film at Harvard, where she focused on documentary storytelling and political history. She entered journalism through local TV and radio in Florida, reporting on urban development, education, and state politics. She joined MSNBC as a contributor in the early 2010s, later hosting AM Joy and The Readout. And right now, it is so lovely watching Joy, like me, shine on her own show without the corporate restraints. And we know Nicki Minaj, the Trinidad-born, Queens-raised rapper, songwriter, actor, and entrepreneur whose mixtapes and chart run made her one of the most influential artists of her era. She trained in drama at LaGuardia before signing with Young Money and releasing Pink Friday in 2010. And in 2024, she drew headlines again after expressing support for President Donald Trump during the election cycle, sparking public debate. But just remember, she told us if you're looking, you know where to find her. She bees in that trap. See you tomorrow.